Imagine signing your will on your phone. No paper, no office visit. You just talk to your attorney, get it set up for a remote electronic notarization, show up, and done. Missouri just made that real. Dan Schnurbush, probate and estate attorney out of St. Charles, Missouri. I help clients all across the state of Missouri deal with estate planning and probate and trust administration when somebody passes away. So, big news in the state of Missouri. On July 10th, the governor signed the Missouri Electronic Wills Act. And basically what this act does is it's one of the most flexible and complete implementations of the Electronic Wills Acts in the country. We are one of the very first states, I believe there's 5 in total now, that allow fully electronic wills. And why does it matter? So it matters because now people in Missouri can execute wills, trusts, power of attorney documents entirely online. So they are given equal legal force to a pen and paper wet signature will. Okay, so it opens the door for, rural communities who may have lesser access to attorneys, mobility limited clients, and people who just want it to be more easy and convenient to get your will done. My hope and my guess is that we're going to see an uptick in the percentage of people who have a will, because it should be so easy to do now. As long as you work with a qualifying attorney or service that allows this to happen and be done entirely online. So how does this work? What does the law actually do? Well, it allows a live video signing of all of these different kinds of estate planning documents, wills, trust, power of attorney, and so on. Basically, you are now allowed in the state of Missouri to have an online notary, a remote online notary, a remote witness for any documents, and the testator. And they don't even need to be in the same room. They can all be on a joint Zoom call in order to make those signatures. There are situations where you can even add witnesses and other verifications after the fact. But in most situations, I would anticipate 4 or more people jumping on a Zoom or WebEx call or some kind of, or Google Meet or what have you, in order to do these remote online notarizations. There are tools already out there like notarize.com where you can set these will and estate signings up for, here's where everybody needs to sign. That you as the user or as the person making out a will, you can just log in, do your identity verification, and Notarize will actually bring a notary online and 2 witnesses online, satisfying all requirements for the validity of the documents whenever you need it, completely on demand, okay? So these are super, super cool. This is a super, super cool level of flexibility for Missouri residents who are trying to get their wills, trusts, and estate planning documents done. Now, it doesn't change the fact that we still need to have disinterested witnesses, we still need that notary, and so on, but you can now do this all electronically. In addition to that, you can store these documents electronically. You can store them in your system. Now, there's a presumption of revocation if somebody doesn't find a digital copy or a paper copy. It's easy to make valid certified paper copies now. All you have to do is have a sworn affidavit that says this is a true and accurate copy of the electronic will. So it's very easy now to create a duplicate or a replica that is admissible in probate court of an electronic will. So something that people are going to need to start thinking about, though, is where do I store these? And how do I make sure that my family has access to these? What do I need to do to make sure that they're properly destroyed? These are going to be some interesting questions going forward as we kind of learn the contours of this law and how our court's going to interpret it. But in general, I think what it means is that we can start storing our electronic wills in our Google Drive or iCloud accounts or what have you, and then sharing them with our family members so that they have ready access to it. And if we want to revoke that, we can just remove that sharing and delete the file and make sure that we've deleted or destroyed any paper copies of the will as well. So it may get interesting and confusing sometimes, like when you have multiple copies of your will, but make sure that you do everything you can. If you do execute an electronic will, that if you decide to change it or remove it, make sure you're deleting or destroying the old copy of your will so that it can't be found and some kind of mistake happen in doing that, in replacing your documents. At the firm, we are getting ready to roll out more electronic, fully remote options for clients across the state of Missouri, especially with respect to our probate and estate clients who have just gone through the probate process. And now we want to make it even easier for them, no matter where they are located in the state, to be able to do that planning to prevent the need for that kind of probate work for their children in the future. Now, rather than having to get wet signatures and take care of all this in person in physical places, we can do this statewide. This law goes into effect in August of 2025. So we are right around the corner. We are ready to start doing this in our practice. Very exciting for Missouri residents. That's it for this time, guys. I'll see you in the next video.